You just lost one ranked match. Your trophy is dropped. Your rank fell. You see the number go down and you feel genuinely upset. Not because you lost in game currency, not because the game is harder now, but because that number represents you. And right now, in this moment, you feel smaller, like you failed, like other people are looking at your rank and judging you for being worse. And I'm going to show you exactly why your nervous system responds that way to a number on a screen. And I'm going to expose how game companies have weaponized one of humanity's deepest needs, the need for status and belonging. Here is the truth. Before leaderboards, games were just games. You won or lost. You felt good or bad. Then you moved on. But the moment a game added a visible leaderboard, a public ranking, something changed psychologically. Your game stopped being entertainment, it became identity, and that is not weakness. That's your nervous system responding exactly as evolution designed it to. But the game company is counting on that. They want you to tie your identity to your rank. Because once your identity is at stake, you will do almost anything to defend it. Now, key insight number one, identity investment. When a number becomes yourself. Let me explain the foundational psychology. Identity investment. Identity investment means when a metric becomes tied to how you see yourself, protecting that metric becomes your primary goal. This is not unique to gaming. It happens everywhere. Your job title becomes your identity. Your social media followers become your identity. Your college rank becomes your identity. But in games, it is maximized. Here is why. In real life, your social status is relatively invisible. People don't know your exact net worth. They don't know your exact ranking in your field. Status is implicit and somewhat private. But in gaming, your rank is a number. It's visible. It's public. Everyone can see it. So when you check your rank and it's 2500, your brain doesn't just register a game metric. It registers, this is my status. This is who I am. This is how people see me. And when that number drops to 2450, your brain processes it as I became smaller, I lost status, people see me as lower value. That is not a competitive spirit. That is identity threat. If you have ever felt genuinely upset after a rank loss, not frustrated about the game mechanics, but upset about what the loss meant about you, that is identity investment at work. Now key insight number two, status anxiety. Your nervous system's response to social threat. Yes, that is a status anxiety. Now let me explain what happens when your identity is tied to a visual rank. That is status anxiety. Status anxiety is a biological response when you perceive a threat to your social status. Your nervous system releases cortisol. Your amygdala activates. You enter a low-level threat state. This is an ancient mechanism. For most of human history, losing social status meant actual survival threat. If you lost status in your tribe, you got exiled. Exiled meant death. So your nervous system developed an exquisite sensitivity to status loss. Any sign that your status was dropping would trigger anxiety, shame, and a desperate need to regain status. Today, you are not in a tribe, you are in a video game, but your nervous system doesn't know the difference. When you see your rank drop, your brain thinks I am losing status, others can see my status is lower, I am vulnerable. And your nervous system forces you to try to fix it, to regain that lost status right now. So you immediately want to play another match, not to have fun, but to regain that lost rank, to prove that the previous loss was a fluke, to restore your public image. The game company has hacked your biology. Understand? And here is what is a genius about leaderboards. They are not just ranking systems, they are social proof. They are saying, here is how you compare to everyone else. Here is your rank. Here is your standing. Which triggers the deepest human fear, being seen as lower value. If you have ever felt an urgent need to play another ranked match immediately after a loss, not because you wanted to, but because you needed to fix your rank, that is status anxiety hijacking your motivation system. Now key insight number three, the visibility trap. Making status public changes everything. Now here is something, yes, making status public changes everything. Now, here is something crucial. The power of leaderboards comes entirely from visibility. Imagine this. What if Clash Royale tracked your trophy count but never showed it to you or anyone else? You would play for fun, you would get better, but you wouldn't feel shame when you lost. Why? Because shame requires an audience, real or imagined. The moment your rank becomes visible, the moment other people can see where you rank, your brain activates something called impression management. You start playing to maintain a favorable public image, and impression management is powerful. It overrides relaxation, it overrides fun, it overrides logic, because in your brain, public status is existential. Think about when you check someone's rank on a leaderboard, you are literally assessing their value in a hierarchy. You might not consciously think that person is worse than me, but your brain is registering status differences, and they know you might be doing that. So they are anxious about their rank being visible. The leaderboard creates a constant state of social performance. You are not just playing, you are being watched. Your performance is being judged. Your status is being evaluated. And once you are in that state, you stop playing for fun. You play for status maintenance. The game company didn't force you to care. They just made your ranking public, and your psychology did the rest. If you have ever felt differently playing when your rank was visible versus invisible, that is the power of status. That is status visibility. Your behavior changed because your rank changed from private to public. Now, key insight number 4. Loss aversion plus identity. You are trapped. Now, let us talk about why you can't quit even when you want to. There is a principle in psychology called loss aversion. It means losses hurt more than gains feel good. Losing $100 hurts more than finding $100 feels good. It's asymmetric. Now combine loss aversion with identity investment. Losing rank is devastating because it is not just losing points, it is losing identity. So here is what happens. You are 2,500. You feel good. That feels like your identity. You drop to 2,450. The loss hits hard, way harder than the 50-point loss would suggest. Your brain is screaming, fix this, regain status. So you play another ranked match and you win, you are back to 2,500. Do you feel the same relief as the pain you felt at 2,450? You feel less happy? You feel like you just restored to normal. That is loss aversion. You are not happy to be at 2,500 again. You are relieved to have stopped the loss. So you keep playing, not to climb higher, but to prevent further losses. And that is a trap. The game company has created a system where you are playing primarily to avoid feeling bad, not to feel good. You are stuck on a hedonic treadmill, except it is even worse. You are running just to stay in place, terrified of slipping down. And the game company knows this. So they tune the matchmaking. They make sure you win just enough to keep you trying, but not enough that you ever feel satisfied and leave. You are trapped in a perpetual status defense cycle. If you have ever played a ranked game for hours, not because you were having fun, but because you were terrified of losing your rank, that is loss aversion plus identity investment creating entrapment. Now key insight number 5. The deeper truth. You are not addicted to the game. Here is the deepest insight, and I want you to really hear this. You are not addicted to the game, you are addicted to being ranked. There is difference. Understand? If someone created an identical game, same mechanics, same skill, same everything, but with no leaderboard, no visible rank, no public sets, you wouldn't play it. Not for nearly as long as. Because the game isn't addictive. Ranking is addictive. You have got a deep human need for status and belonging. And the game company found the most efficient way to stimulate that need. Make your ranking visible, make it public, make it comparable. And now you can't stop. Not because you are weak, but because your status system is being exploited. And that is actually important to understand. Because it means the problem isn't you. It is not you. It is the design. You didn't fail. The system succeeded. If this is hitting you, if you are realizing that your ranked grinding isn't really about fun, drop a comment below. Tell me, when you see your rank drop, what story does your brain tell you about yourself? Do you feel inadequate, exposed, like you failed as a person? Because that story, that is the identity trap talking. And you are not alone. Millions of people are experiencing this exact same psychological manipulation right now. Now the key insight number 6. That is reclaiming your identity. What changes when you see the trap? Interesting? Yes, let us go for that. Now here is the power part. Once you understand that your rank is not your identity, something shifts. Once you understand this, something shifts. The next time you lose rank, you will feel the status anxiety. That won't go away immediately. Then your nervous system will still process it. But you will also know, this is a game mechanic, this is a number, this is not me, this is not my value. And that distance, that tiny gap between I lost rank and I am less valuable, that is where freedom starts. Does this mean you will quit? Maybe not immediately. Status is powerful. But it means you are no longer unconscious about it. You are no longer believing the story that your rank is your identity. You are playing aware. And aware play is different from unconscious play. Because the trap only works if you believe it. Now the actionable insight. Here is something concrete you can do in the next 24 hours. Next time you see your rank, whether it went up or down, pause for 1 second. Notice a feeling. Notice whether you feel the urge to defend it or regain it. Then ask yourself, am I upset about what happened in the game? Or am I upset about what this means about me? Because that is a moment you can separate the two. Game outcomes are just game outcomes, but the meaning you assign to your rank, that is where the trap is. Once you start making that distinction, you have cracked the code. So, here is what I want you to understand about yourself. Your rank is not your worth. Your league tire is not your capability. Your trophy count is not your value. You are not your leaderboard position. Understand that? I know that sounds obvious, but you live like it's true when you are in the game. Your nervous system acts like it's true. Your behavior protects like it's true. But it is not. You are not complete. You are a complete person with infinite value outside of any ranking system. Your contribution to world is not measured by a video game number. And the moment you actually believe that, not just intellectually but deeply, the leaderboard loses its power. Not all of it. Status is real. Belonging is real. But the desperation disappears. The shame disappears. The compulsive need to defend your rank disappears. And what remains is choice. You might still play ranked games, but you are playing because you choose to. Not because your identity is at stake. That is freedom. I have got a complete series on gaming psychology. One on dopamine, one on variable rewards, one on the sunk cost trap. If you want to understand exactly how your brain is being manipulated in your favorite game, the full playlist is in the description. But more than that, I want you to do something today. Look at your rank. Feel the emotional weight of that number. And ask yourself, is this number worth my peace of mind? Once you are honest about that answer, you have got real power. Your identity is not a rank, it is something deeper. Something that no leaderboard can measure or take away. And the moment you believe that, the trap stops working. Remember, you are not your rank. And once you know that, everything changes. Thank you.